Excellent. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this month's 30K in 30 Day weekly challenge Q&A call. Really great to see everyone here. I'm going to talk about a really specific topic today for every one of you because this week inside of our challenge is really about you understanding the difference in the awareness scale that you are creating for your audience, right? And so we're going to talk about the awareness scale today because it actually matters so much in everything that we do, with whether we're building our brand, launching a product, talking to our family. Nonetheless, understanding what the awareness scale means can actually help you be a better communicator, a better marketer, a better spouse, right? And to get what you want, or to help others see what you have is what they need so that they can make a decision to work with you, right? That's the whole point of why we're doing this, right? And so that's what we're going to really focus on today and this week. And what I'll do is I'll be able to answer some questions for many of you guys as well. Now, if you have been inside of our 30K in 30 Day Challenge membership site, you'll know that I also go even more deeply into the understanding of what the awareness scale is and how that can relate to the way that you structure and you position not only your content, but how you're connecting your offers to your audience. And so I even go more deeply into that. And if you're watching this on a live stream or video, you can go inside of our 30K in 30 Day Challenge under swanlinks.com. That'll actually take you inside there and you'll get all of this content that we talk about, which is actually what based on the chapter I wrote in Russell Brunson's book, but I go even more deeply into how to actually launch your products, your services, utilizing Facebook Live content. All right, so while everyone's joining us inside the group, I'm going to connect with you guys in the group. Let's talk about the awareness scale, all right? Now, this week in our challenge, this is the second week. Last week was about planning. It was about structuring. And now I love structure, right? Because structure gives us freedom. If you have something that's structured, that's why we have calendars. That's why, you have your structure, your organization of the day. If you have structured, you know what you're going to do. Just like my office right now. This office is fully structured for me to be totally successful in delivering content. And I'm going to show you guys actually what I mean, because so many people say, oh, it's really hard for me to deliver content consistently. I just can't get my schedule organized for doing Facebook Lives. Well, there's a reason. It's not because you're wrong. It's actually because you're not structuring. You haven't set up a daily method of operation that is a structure that gives you freedom. Now, I'm going to actually lift up my screen right here. I'm going to show you quickly. Now, my office setup looks like this. You are in my office. This is my set. You see my set? There's my light kit, right? This is my I use this because I love to stand, but I also like to sit at my desk. I don't like to stand up desks. So I got real clever. I went to Amazon, did these look at it, there's all kinds of my stuff in there that I need, right? So now I've got this and my computer goes on there so I can stand. I got a couple light kits here, right? Now I use soft boxes because it keeps my imagery warm. You don't need soft boxes. I actually use those for a lot of other things. So that's why they're all piled in my office for my podcast, etc. But can you see how set up? I literally walk in to my office. I put my computer down, or I put my phone into my tripod, and I'm ready to go. See, this is the whole difference between being consistent. Let me move this lighting over here. It's a little weird on my thing. It's about being that consistency and executing and not executing. Because what happens? We get busy, and it's difficult, isn't it, to get yourself ready. Or if you're doing ARM videos, it's cool, but if you're really doing this type of plan and you're delivering and launching a course or product or gaining an audience, you've got to be on it. Same time, every day, they've got to be ready for you. They got to know that you're coming, because this is how we gain trust. There's a lot of noise in the marketplace, especially in social media. Everyone, write this down, everyone is trying to either buy someone's attention or they're trying to grab someone's attention and hold them there long enough. So this time in our 30-day challenge, it's about that structure. It's about how you deliver the lives that you do and why attention spans are so short. And unless we follow the Facebook Live structure that I give you in the course, you're going to lose people. And you're going to wonder why your content's not delivering. So now we're going to talk about the way that you inject your content into the awareness scale of your audience. So let's talk about the awareness scale, right? So this is week 1 of our challenge. The first week was actually planning. Now we're in the week 1, 2, and 3 of the 21-day launch like a boss delivery plan, if you will. Like, I just think it's funny to say that, but it's about using psychologically moving people through a pathway that allows them to increase their level of awareness. So that means most of your audience is probably going to be at the very lowest level. And I'll talk about the awareness scale in a moment. Or they're going to be right here. Our objective in what we're doing each and every week is moving them up the awareness scale. So how do we do that? We plot out what our best content is going to be that guides them all the way through for 3 full weeks into your big live event, right? That's the webinar, that's the launch, that's the masterclass, whatever you want to call it. Week 1 is about problem. It's creating the awareness and the understanding that there could be a problem. So that means highlighting, talking about you and how you recognize there's a problem in your niche or in what you do, right? So in my first week of my 30-day plan or my 21-day plan, I talk a lot about branding and why branding has become one of the #1 strategies for us to build a 7-figure business without actually even being salesy, right? So I talk about it, connect. I create that branding is absolutely something that they need. A brand makeover, the look, the message, the strategy. I talk about our experiences. So I'm opening the idea that there is a problem that they've got that needs to be solved. See, but most people are probably on the awareness scale that you're speaking to. See, we know everything about our product, so we think we need to go, whoa, look what I got, look what I got. You know, come and buy from me right now. This is my greatest thing since sliced bread. They're like, why do I need that? This is where the biggest failures happen. Often when those that are leveraging social media to make offers and to sell, is that they jump right into talking about their product and their solution before they even know there's a problem. Who's guilty? I know. We all do it. And why is that? It's actually because you know so much about what you're doing and you want to solve the problem so quickly. And you actually are getting bored with delivering the content at the lowest level. So you just want to sell it. Well, what happens? If their awareness scale is not there of what their problem is, they'll never move. Psychology of selling. This is the psychology of understanding your market, knowing your audience. So let's talk about this. In our structured 21-day plan, this is about creating the problem, opening the windows and the ideas that you've got a problem, my friend. If it's health and fitness, you can't just sell them, you know, certain like a weight loss program unless they realize that weight that they're carrying is going to destroy their health, or you got to give it, make it bigger for them. Let the big picture be seen. The second week, which is next week, this is the level of starting to open the idea that there is a solution. You talk about the successes of others, that they started working a plan and knowing that having a structured meal plan, let's say, can provide you with a better outcome, right? And a certain way that you structure the meal plan loses belly fat, right? They have to start seeing that could be a solution to their problem. And I know that many of you guys here, and you can write this down below of what industry you're in. We can talk about that at the end of like, how can we start opening the doors to solutions? Third is, then it's about now the product. So it's problem, solution, and product aware. This is what our 21-day plan is. This is where your live offer or your webinar is going to be sitting. See, But now let's go back to the awareness scale, okay? Most of your audience that you're talking to, it actually doesn't matter what industry you're in. You've got to know where your viewers are at. So let's say you go to a talk, you're a speaker, and you go to a talk. Now, you might have an audience that totally understands, I don't know, like SEO or coding or something, right? So you can, of course, go right into exactly what you're doing. But if they don't understand this stuff, you actually, and you're do SEO on websites, you've got to educate them on what SEO can do. And that there's a problem that you got on your website if you're not using SEO techniques or analytics. See, everyone just goes, hey, let me do SEO for you. Let me get you more traffic. They're like, nope, don't need it, because I don't get why it's going to work for me. Do you get that? Excellent. Yes, Maya, she helps fundraising, okay? So you want to open the door to that. The problem they have isn't that they're out of resources, it's they're out of resourcefulness. And then opening the idea like, wow, did you know that you can fundraise from any project? Any project. So how do we do that? We actually have to show them the projects. We have to talk about weird industries that polarize the thought that, oh, you can fund for, I don't know, travel. I'm not sure what the fund, maybe you can list what are the funding, main funding or niches that could utilize this type of work. Because what Maya does is she teaches those to fundraising as an entrepreneur mindset, not an NGO, but as an entrepreneur. So she's got to open the idea that most people confuse fundraising with nonprofit or with charity, right? So it's opening the thought that it's not about that. It's that the problem can be you can actually do it. Like you in your business, if you're thinking like an entrepreneur, you can get fundraising for any industry. So you've got to make that very clear for them, right? And then of course now we're building upon their awareness scale. Like, oh, I didn't know that I could fundraise, right, for my kids' tuition, let's say, or for, I don't know if that's true, right? But give me some, why don't you list some, Maya, of some industries. She helps nonprofit maximize fundraising by thinking like an entrepreneur. Fundraise fast, 0 to 100K in 12 weeks. Like that's crazy, right? So she is helping nonprofits grow their fundraising efforts. But what happens with nonprofits is they just think very unifocused, don't they? They're like thinking of my community, let's do a car wash, let's do this, right? Like she's talking about like remodeling projects, like fully remodeling, reframing a project. So they're not usually thinking in such a big entrepreneur mindset, right? How to get funding, cancer research, like the things that Maya does that help get funding for big projects needs to open their mindset. And so this is how we do it, Maya. You talk about the niches that no one would ever understand. And then you say, look, you've got a fundraising that you want to do. Let me help you think like an entrepreneur. So now then the solution starts to become very clear. You're not teaching them the solution. You're saying that it's possible. And that there are ways, and your methodology, which I do suggest every one of you has a methodology so that others can actually see the solution is clear. See, I have the sexy brand building formula, right? It's a methodology from walking someone all the way through their brand idea and concept, all the way through into launching and growing their business, right? Brand story, brand promise, innovation, experience, right? And now customers for life. I have a methodology that walks someone through the growth of their brand. So if you have a methodology and a process that has a name, people go, ooh, they lean in, don't they? So like, wow, she's going to teach me something. So now there's a solution to this. And then as they realize, whoa, there's a solution, there's actually a product or an event or a person that can solve this, then they're totally aware. Now, I can talk about this type of strategy till I'm blue in the face. You'd be amazed at how many people, whether you're entrepreneurs or you're just a spouse, if you start using this awareness scale and understanding how to present or pitch what you do, you'll get better results in your life. My family knows when I want something, I can position them because I'm like, I'm going to position them knowing that we got a problem here and we need to solve it. And it's by, traveling across the USA in an RV, right? Like, how did I pitch that to my family? Now, of course, my family's pretty excited about traveling across the world in an RV, but you've got to understand like what gets people to enroll. It's all about enrollment. See, selling, providing content is all about enrolling them to know that they got a problem, you got a solution, and now I'm the product to purchase from. That's all it is. You guys getting that? It's about understanding the awareness skill in every area. And it's then knowing when you're on your audience. So let's say maybe you talk to your Facebook audience differently. Maybe you're not doing any Facebook targeting yet. But your Facebook targeting is for brand new marketers or brand new people that maybe are brand new fundraising NGOs, let's say. And they don't understand, or maybe they just have zero awareness skill at all. You have to know where they are. That's what I love about Facebook marketing and targeting is that when I target, I know who they are and what their level of understanding is. So I can talk to them based on where they are because I'm targeting them. Now, when you're using Facebook Lives and you're using it as a broad stroke, as an attraction model, you've got to actually work through this 3 weeks in a way that brings people from problem aware solution to product aware into your masterclass. And it takes time to get this part, but this is why we do it as a consistent basis. Is that making sense to you guys? Because I guarantee you right now, we have a 100% success rate when we follow this process. And when we understand what our audience is looking for. And this is why we put together this 30K and 30-day challenge to help you get better at this and consistently deliver content every day that follows this structure, because this structure is going to give you freedom. Because also, you're going to know what to do. Your office is set, or maybe you have a set somewhere else. You know your topics, boom, you come and deliver it, and you just get better at it. That's why we put together this challenge, and also teaching you in a psychological fashion what it is my audience needs from me now, opposed to just hoping you're talking about it. Because then once we target this level, now we can do Facebook ads and go, okay, week 1's about problem aware. Let me go target people that are not aware of their problem. So you can target them. Then once they start getting more aware, now you retarget them with the solution, same audience. See, this is how being strategic with your content delivery creates results. Because now once you've got an audience that understands the problems, then you can retarget them with your webinar, and they've already understood they got a problem. There could potentially be a solution. Boom, now my webinar is the solution. Come and work with me. Do you get that? All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to invite anyone that's not part of the 30-day challenge, invite you to join us now so you can get all this content. And then you can, you'll be able to download this stuff immediately. All right, I digress now because I'm using this, guys, as a little bit of an ad. So for now, inside the challenge, I know you guys are already here, I was recording this, so I had to do the cover. So what I want to do now is I'm going to open up. Yeah, Maya, this is really great stuff. Did that help you really see? Like you should be talking about each and every one of these different experiences and groups that you can help. Because what happens is a lot of them don't see that it can actually work or how they can do it. And it gets them, it'll allow, because now it's also, it can be fundraising, an ad could be fundraising for cancer research, fundraising for Special Olympics. You can actually run targeted content and ads to book people into your webinar, into your event. So now you're talking to them directly. So utilizing the ad structure that I've provided with you, you could say in each different ads, if you are a fundraising for Special Olympics, and you want to get more fundraising, if you run a Special Olympics, let's say, event, and you want more fundraising or generate 100K for your fundraising efforts in 12 weeks, this webinar is for you, or this, talk to them more specifically, because then the awareness scale is increasing with what they're realizing like, whoa, this is about me. So now when you're marketing to get them to a webinar or to get them to see your funnel, your event, it's very targeted ad marketing. That makes sense? And then when you're content marketing, you're delivering your daily content, now they're actually seeing what you're talking about is legit. See, that's the difference between now how people are reacting in webinars. They're acting in webinars in a way that if you don't have any content that's surrounding, just your webinar, and they can't reference what you do, they're bypassing you. That's the competition that we're in right now. All right, let's see where you guys are at. Okay, let's see, am I looking for myself live in the 30K challenge group? There I am. Okay. All right, guys, so I'm going to open up for some questions for you guys as well. All right, cool. Good, Muriel. I'm glad that helped clear some things up for you. Yeah, if any of you are any of you having trouble with discovering what your awareness scale is, or how you can position problem style content different between solution-based content? That sometimes is an issue for some people. They're like, oh, so if I'm talking about problems I've got, how do I then start seeding that there's a solution? Well, a lot of it has to do with the psychological perception. The more you're talking about a problem, the more you become a solution for them, because they didn't realize they could fix it. You get that? Like, we've got one of our chiropractors in our inner circle, and he's now starting to talk about high blood pressure, but it's also related to chiropractic. High blood pressure can actually be fixed with chiropractic care. People don't even know that. But you have to open their awareness scale that having regular chiropractic updates and adjustments helps overall health. Low blood pressure, high blood sugar, right? Sleep patterns. But if they don't know that, they don't realize that chiropractic adjustments are actually going to help them. Does that make sense? All right, excellent. Yes, and exactly like Kathy mentioned, is that it also positions you as an expert. The more you're delivering content consistently and you start sharing and being seen as the person that has knowledge, people come after you. I've got people every day going, oh, someone said I need a brand makeover and it's you. I have to talk to you, right? Because we talk about how to develop brands consistently. It's all we do. Now, I also talk about funnels, but I don't talk about funnels a lot in my lives. I talk about brands because I want people just to think about that, right? I do funnels. That's not what I primarily am about. I want someone to go, man, my brand needs a makeover. I need help with launching and turning myself from a best known secret into the best known expert, world's known expert. You get that? So this is how you start positioning yourself. And I did a talk yesterday on positioning at an event, and it was specifically about positioning yourself as the expert by delivering consistent amount of content. You see, so many of us think, oh, my product is so good and everything I do is so good. But if you are not sharing with them that your product or what you do is the expert, or that you are providing people with daily content, let's just get real. It's a very competitive market out there. There's a lot of different people talking about very similar things than you are. And if you're the one that's doing all the heavy lifting in the beginning, especially in this 21-day plan, and you do all the heavy lifting for 2 weeks, and then you forget the last week and you don't run your masterclass, or you don't maintain your consistency, what happens? You've been doing all the heavy lifting. If you're paying for ads, you're really doing heavy lifting, because then what happens? Someone else slides in right into the awareness scale you've already created, which is solution-based, and they pick up your pieces. I see it every day. In fact, when I was running or $500 million marketing campaigns and budgets, right, with a pharmaceutical company, I had major budgets that I was able to work with. And if our company wasn't consistently in front, there was an exact competition to the products that we offered. We were doing all kinds of awareness scale efforts. And then if I wasn't showing up with my clients every day, and if our marketing wasn't consistent in front of their face, and I wasn't speaking to my thought leaders and my doctors, what would happen? The other company and the representative would walk in and they would just select them. You see, that's the difference in going from good to great, starting and stopping. Marketing campaigns that start, and all of a sudden you get the first month is where you start to get some juice. That's where you actually start to get leverage. People start seeing your content consistently. You drop, there's no trust. There's no trust. So what happens then? Somebody else comes in that's consistent, boom, boom, and they choose them. I see it every single day when marketers or business owners are like, oh, this marketing isn't working, or content marketing isn't quite working for me. It's because you're not working for it. That's why the 30-day challenge is so powerful. It actually challenges us to be a good business owner, to be consistent. It actually challenges us to do something consistently and to live up to what we say we are. Because I know, guys, it is a challenge. It's a challenge to be what you say and to say what you are. It is. It's a challenge. We as humans are not consistent. And when it gets hard, we want to stop, or we want to get too busy. Getting too busy is the killer of all success. You guys got that? All right, let me see how you guys are at here in the group. All right. Good to see everyone. All right. So is this giving you guys some leverage this week? Structure gives us freedom. Consistency creates results. And lack of consistency allows someone else to pick up the heavy lifting or the light lifting. You've done all the heavy work. And then they will take your sales and they'll take your audience. I work with coaches, consultants, and professionals every day. And unless you are showing up as that professional on a consistent basis, your positioning level is exactly where it should be, then what happens? You get bypassed. We work with influencers. And influencers, if they're not influencing, my daughter is an influencer. If she's not consistent in her stories and she's not consistent in her leverage on her Facebook or her Instagram growth is not strong, she's not building an audience. It's crickets, right? You have to stay consistent. You can't just leverage marketing and say, let the marketing work. You have to be part of the marketing. That's why this works so brilliantly. Guys, I mean, I've sold over $50 million plus now online. I know what works because I'm so darn consistent. I may not be the best, but guess what? I will outwork everyone. I will over consistent everyone. Yeah, Letitia, consistency is everything. And that's why this challenge is so tight. It's challenging for a reason because I'm challenging you to do something you haven't done before. And then you might back up and say, I don't want to do it anymore. Right? Because it's getting hard. But if you structure yourself, guys, ladies and gents, I will guarantee you it will work. You guys have this book. You have the printouts. You guys can get the physical book. Actually, if you come to our event in Orlando, everyone's getting this printout of this book. And we're actually going to go through the whole structure. And so writing out this here, you already should have done it. And many of you did a week probably then said, I'll do it on my own. Write this out. Artiste, by the way, well done. I think, or was it Trace? Wrote hers out specifically to the content, to what she's providing, what the links she's giving, what the offers are. It just creates a no-brainer moment for you. You get that? A no-brainer moment. I walk in the door, boom, I know what I'm going to say. My lighting's set, click, click, click. All I do is press live, right? That's what keeps us consistent. So, all right. So there's no questions about this week, everyone. Really excited for all of you. Let's do this today. Any of you watching the recording, not a problem. Utilize this group to not only share the lives and get your questions answered that you might have. This week is about delivery. It's about consistency. And share if there's some realness. Share why you weren't or what happened or how you keep yourself consistent. Share this with this group so you guys can keep you all moving in a really tight, connected space. And I tell you, you get this 21-day plan down, your habit starts being created. Then a ritual will continue after the 3rd month. You get that? So let's stay there. And just know, remember, any of you that are having issues with like, wow, I need a webinar set up. I need a funnel done. Don't worry, our team can do that. You can always reach out to tag Larcy and say, Larcy, I need help setting up a funnel, right? We give you funnels inside of here. You guys get my 2 Comma Club funnel. But if you need help setting them up, we can do that too. If you also want marketing done for you for your webinar, we've got it. Our team, our marketing team can do that as well. But remember, it's about consistency, right? So you can't just hope that 1 month stuff's going to work and then, it didn't work. You've got to really be consistent with it, right? This is your business. Facebook and Instagram are like the platforms right now, along with LinkedIn on a professional side. And I think many of you guys, if you didn't see, we're now running direct promotions through LinkedIn so that you can actually have someone helping you take bookings and get you in the PR and media for podcasting so you can have that exposure much grander than just your one effort. And that's how we start to syndicate our content, is understanding that our value is so powerful. How do we leverage it more? So remember, we can help you do that. We have our branding agency covers all Instagram growth, Facebook marketing, ads, funnels, so that we're here to really assist you guys and help you grow. I am going to be dropping, I don't know if it's here today, I'm dropping the webinar, 96-page webinar document that we wrote for everyone that's active here inside of the challenge. It's going to be sold for $29 a webinar, swipe files for the next group. But every single month, if you stay in, you get something from me for free every month. And all of you are going to get the webinar, complete webinar guide and template, so that you can leverage that now to build on your webinar. And again, if you are coming to our event in Orlando in September, we are going to be building that as well together at that event. So you guys have everything set up and done for you. All right, everyone. Really great to see all of you guys. Let's stay focused in this 30-day challenge. You're now in your second week of delivering content. Let's stay consistent and be unstoppable. Have a good one, everyone. Cheers.